and his natural verbal ability to
He's
form a
cool.
foundation for what would
He's so
become
cool. Gabriel Rosario. Okay,
in the civil rights
join.nearpod.com, you guys. That's the website we have to go to. Join.nearpod.com. And then the code is QX3U9. QX3U9. So everyone needs to go to Nearpod right now, and we're going to wait until all of us are on there. So everyone needs to go to Nearpod.
On December 1st, 1955,
join.nearpod.com. Everyone go there right now.
to a white person on a crowded bus in Montgomery, Alabama, a city known for its segregated public spaces. That night, Martin met with other activists to plan a citywide protest that would become known as the Montgomery Bus Boycott. The boycott lasted over 380 days. During this time, Martin was arrested and harassed by people who did not want the changes.
Angel, it's called Nearpod, not Earpod.
I know that. You made a mistake.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if you had the website. Okay, good to know. Looks good then.
In the wake of the boycott victory, civil rights leaders recognized the need.
Lucas, are you going to the Nearpod?
To better
Miss
coordinate
Babbitt, I just see the problem.
roughly
You
60
can't type in because it has to have a blue written on it. Just like
for the
it's like
SCLC.
it's like it works. Like
The
why
SCLC
just had to
nonviolent
do this
protests
for you? So
across the
so it has
South.
to have the blue written on it.
Oh, thank you. That looks great. Did you guys see Angel went ahead and put the Nearpod link in there. Thank you so much, Angel.
You're welcome.
In 1963, Martin led a coalition of several civil rights groups in a nonviolent campaign aimed at Birmingham,
That was
Alabama,
perfect.
which was at that
Good
time
thinking.
described as the most segregated city in America. The nation was shocked to see images of young African Americans attacked by police dogs.
All right, Evan, I have Rocky and I have Angel. I need everyone else to join us as well. We're gonna have all of us on this Nearpod.
Letter from a Birmingham jail after being arrested again for his participation in the demonstrations. Later in 1963, Martin was one of the driving forces behind the March for Jobs and Freedom, more commonly known as the March on Washington. On August 28, 1963, over
I've got TJ.
250,000 people of all ethnicities
TJ, Rocky, and Angel. Everyone else needs to join us.
demand justice and equality for all people. It was here that Martin made his famous I Have a Dream speech. Delivered from the steps of the Lincoln Memorial, this speech inspired the nation and is now considered one of the greatest in American history. Martin was later named Time Magazine's Man of the Year. This further
Edson, change it so it says your name, please. Javier, I have yours.
At 35 years old,
Javier is ready to
Martin
go.
became the youngest person ever to win the Nobel Peace Prize.
Lucas, Evan, are you guys going to the nearpod.com?
He promised to donate the
I'm trying to know the code, but it's waiting for now. I see it in the chat.
Yep, it's in the chat.
He delivered another powerful speech when he accepted his award that was both moving and
Edson, you have to put the code in your nickname.
Partly due to the March on Washington and Martin's speech. Congress
You can do a nickname, but I don't want to see another student's name on here, okay?
Made it illegal to discriminate against people because of their race.
Oh, are you on here, Evan, as Black-Footed Ferret?
That promoted segregation.
I want to be a black-footed ferret.
Perfect, looks good. All right, Lucas, I think you're our last one, okay? Oh, Isaiah, we're waiting for you too. Isaiah, are you logged on to the Nearpod?
Yeah.
Which one are you?
President Lyndon B. Johnson and his administration to pass a law protecting the
Isaiah, I don't see you here. I have Lucas, the nuke.
Martin gave another powerful speech that helped rally more supporters.
Okay, Isaiah, you're our last one.
Congress went on to pass the Voting Rights Act that eliminated the remaining barriers to voting for African Americans.
Do you need the code, Isaiah?
Prior to this legislation, there were still areas in which African Americans were completely disenfranchised, meaning they did not have the right to vote. Over the next 3 years, Martin's focus shifted from racial discrimination to economic injustice and
I need the
international
code. Mine.
Okay, it's QX3U9.
Martin's opposition
You
to the
type it in there for me.
among white allies,
QX3U9.
and publicists. Martin and the SCLC also organized the Poor People's Campaign in 1968 in an effort to assemble a multiracial coalition of poor Americans who would advocate for economic change. On April 4th, 1968, Martin was shot while standing on the balcony outside of his hotel.
Did you get it,
at the
Isaiah?
Lorraine Hotel in Memphis, Tennessee. At 7:05 p.m., Martin was pronounced dead at St. Joseph's
Right.
Hospital.
All right, keep going.
39 years old.
Our last one, so we're just waiting on you, and then we'll get started. And we got some really good stuff to look at, so
King Jr.
I want to
changed
get
the course
started.
of American history. He worked tirelessly to ensure that all people, regardless of race, religion, or national origin, had equal opportunities and could live their lives without fear of violence and discrimination. Martin is regarded as America's greatest human rights advocate. In 1980,
Is it there, Isaiah? Are you on the website, Isaiah? Nearpod?
Yeah.
Did you type in the code yet? Oh, there you are. I think we got you. You are who? Isaiah. Perfect. All right, here we go. All right, so what is Martin Luther King Jr. Day and how is it celebrated? That is our essential question. Okay, here's our objectives, you guys. By the end of the lesson, I want you guys to be able to understand the importance of this very special holiday. Okay, I want you to learn about the life and accomplishments of Martin Luther King, and we're going to look at several monuments, actually, and historic sites that are part of Martin Luther King's legacy. So let's get started. All right, today's lesson. In today's lesson, we're going to learn about Martin Luther King Jr. Day. We're going to learn about King's life and legacy, particularly for the civil rights movement. We're going to visit sites that were important for his fight for equality. That's an important word to know for this lesson. Equality, okay? And we're going to reflect on values that he championed in all his protests and speeches. It's going to be good. So first things first, I want to know, what is a holiday and why do we celebrate them? So everyone needs to share a thought or an image about a holiday and why do we celebrate them? Okay. So what's a holiday? Why do we celebrate them?
Let's go to page 1. Would you like to read this out? Martin?
Martin Luther King.
Born?
Was born in Atlanta, Georgia, on June.
Let's see, we've got Angel. Beautiful. Rocky. Oh, I like that picture, Rocky. And Angel. Who else? Oh, I love it. New Year's Eve. Good job, Evan.
Thank you.
So what is a holiday? Why do we celebrate them?
Let's turn the page. Who would like to read? Go ahead.
When Martin
What's a holiday? Oh, beautiful. You guys did excellent work. Christmas. Javier posted a picture. Oh, Isaiah, that turkey looks delish.
Thanksgiving is my favorite because I love food.
Oh, well, we have a slide later that talks about your favorite holiday. Okay, you guys, so a holiday is going to be a day of festivity when no work is done, okay? All right, let's move on. Holidays. So holidays can be days of celebration, festivities. Think of like New Year's Day or 4th of July, right? They can also be a day of remembrance and respect. So think of a day like Memorial Day or Veterans Day. So remember, Memorial Day lands in May. It's like the last Monday in May. And then Veterans Day is in November, like November 11th, I'm pretty sure. And so on those days, we usually get school off, right? And all these holidays have important historical, cultural origins, and they're important to know the meaning behind each holiday. All right, so now I have a question for you guys. What is your favorite holiday and why? And Isaiah, your answer was perfect. He said Thanksgiving because I love food. And that would be a perfect answer to do right here, right now. Thanksgiving because I love food. Or whatever you guys like. My favorite is Christmas because I love spending time with my family. And I love gifts. Perfect. Rocky said Christmas. What are your guys' favorite holidays? You can do a picture maybe, or maybe it just does text. I'm not sure. But write it down. Your favorite holiday and why.
I'm really happy. Some of that stuff on Stop, please.
Okay.
I want everybody to sit down because we have to keep distance. That's okay, we got it. Ms. Dawson got it.
Oh, Edson, I like yours. Christmas. Spend time with my family. I watch presents. My favorite, and then Evan said my favorite holiday is New Year's Eve. Oh, I love that one too, Evan. Who else wants to share? Write something, you guys. Your favorite holiday. And if you can't pick just one, you could name a few. Maybe you like 3 of them and you can't pick a favorite. Isaiah might have lots of families come over. Beautiful. All right, Javier and Angel and Lucas, did you guys want to share anything? I was going to skip to the next slide. My favorite holiday. Alrighty, here we go. Oh, I love all these answers. Good job, you guys.
Oh, heck no. I'm sorry, guys.
I'm not finished.
Oh, I'm so sorry, Angel. I asked if someone was adding anything else and I didn't hear anyone. We'll get you next time.
Can you keep the chat, please?
Yeah. Christmas. Oh, I like that picture of Santa. All right, so you guys celebrating Martin Luther King Jr. Day. Martin Luther King Jr. Day, it's going to be celebrated on the 3rd Monday of each January. So that falls this Monday, the 18th. And guess what? We don't have school. Yay, no school. The holiday is going to celebrate the life and accomplishments of one of the greatest heroes of the civil rights movement. So that's Martin Luther King Jr., right? That's why it's called MLK Day, Martin Luther King Day. He was a fierce advocate for racial equality. There's that word again, equality. Many Americans use the day as an opportunity to learn about his life and work. Others spend the day volunteering or attending special events in his honor. Alrighty. So who was Martin Luther King Jr.? And let's have someone read this slide for us. Let's have Isaiah read this slide for us. So go ahead, Isaiah, and read this slide for us. Isaiah, can you put your mic on, please? We can't hear you.
loving parents along with younger brothers and he is very
Right.
There we go. All right, you're on the Nearpod, and you can start with Martin Luther King Jr. was.
Martin Luther King Jr. was a legendary teacher for the civil rights movement in the United States, which succeeded the pro-segregation in the federal state law. He was born on January 15th, 1929, in Atlanta, Georgia. He was the son of Baptist. He obtained Moore College, received a degree in Trousers Theology Seminary, and became the predecessor.
Very nicely done. Yes, he became a preacher, right? Because he was a Baptist preacher,
Yeah,
son of a Baptist preacher. So he
Mr.
became a
Bird,
preacher.
Babbitt. There were birds in my grass, and
Oh, did Mr. Bird? That's wonderful that Mr. Bird taught about this too. That makes me so happy to hear.
yeah, there were birds in my grass,
Oh, cool.
and I said, "Get off my grass."
You guys must have been looking at a picture then.
Or like, get off my lawn.
Get off my, oh yeah, get off my lawn. Good point, Angel. All right, you guys, now we're on the next slide that says
I
civil
think there's one
rights.
more bird right there. Let me just.
wise.
All right. Okay, we're going to read about civil rights now. And civil rights, I'm going to have, let's see. I think I'm going to have Evan read for us. So Evan, put your mic on. Evan, go back to Teams and put your mic on, okay? Perfect. All right, and then go back to the Nearpod and read about civil rights, please.
Okay. Here we go. Until the 1950s and 60s, U.S. had the law to treat black and white people equally.
Say unequally.
Unequally. They were separated, separate schools, bathrooms, setting up the bus, and much more. This separation based on race is called segregation. Activists like Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. On there, they worked against segregation. Fought for a world where black and white people would be treated equally. They began the civil rights movement.
Beautiful. Wow. Great reading, Evan. Really great job. So, yes, Evan's reading all about these civil rights movements. And so, you guys, black and white people were not being treated equally, right? They were separating the schools, bathrooms, even the bus, and many more things, okay? So, Martin Luther King, he wanted to end segregation. He said, hey, this isn't fair for black people. So, we shall be treated equally. And so, that's when the civil rights movement began. So he was a civil rights activist and leader. He led the Montgomery bus boycott in 1955. So a woman named Rosa Parks, she refused to give up her seat on a bus for a white man. And because of that, she was arrested. And then also Martin Luther King was arrested many times for protesting on segregation. So we're going to look at the following slide, you guys. We're going to learn more about Martin Luther King, okay, and the civil rights movement of the United States. So here we go. We're going to watch a video. So I want you guys to go back to the Teams because I'm sharing my screen with you. And I'm going to show you the video. So everyone needs to go back to the Teams real quick so you can see it. And let me know if you can hear it. Can you hear it?
Today we're going to learn about the civil rights leader, Martin Luther King Jr.
Thanks, TJ. And then everyone knows to go watch the video on, you have to go back to the Teams page so you can watch the screen and watch it. Okay, here we go.
Martin Luther King Jr., best known for his nonviolent protests and speeches calling for equality for all people, was born on January 15, 1929, in Atlanta, Georgia. He was the second of 3 children, born to a Baptist preacher. At the time, less than 70 years after slavery was made illegal in the United States, things were still hard for Black Americans. Many people were unhappy when slavery was ended, and lawmakers in some places, especially southern states, made special rules to keep white people and Black people apart. People of different races had to use different drinking fountains, different bathrooms, and even had to go to different schools. The Supreme Court ruled that it was legal as long as things were separate but equal. This separation between people of different colors was called segregation. This was the atmosphere that young Martin Luther King grew up in. He attended a segregated school, where he did so well that he was able to skip 2 grades and graduate at the age of 15. Shortly after graduating, he began studying at Morehouse College, and he graduated with a degree in sociology in 1948. He had decided to become a minister like his father, and so he enrolled in a seminary to study religion. In 1951, Martin Luther King Jr. graduated from the seminary, the top in his class. On June 18, 1953, King married Coretta Scott, with whom he would have 4 children. He continued his education by studying for his doctorate at Boston College, and in 1954 he became the pastor of a Baptist church in Montgomery, Alabama. In 1955, he received his PhD when he was only 25 years old. In December of 1955, Rosa Parks refused to give up her seat on the bus to a white man, for which she was arrested and spent the night in jail. Martin Luther King and other civil rights leaders organized a boycott of the bus system. This meant that the people who wanted things to change would stop riding the bus. The Montgomery bus boycott lasted over a year, and so many people refused to ride the buses that the bus companies lost a lot of money. In December of 1956, the Supreme Court ruled that segregated buses were unconstitutional. This was a major victory for the civil rights movement, and it proved that peaceful methods could create change. However, many people were upset by the changes that were happening, and Martin Luther King was nationally recognized after his part in the bus boycott. He was jailed over 20 times, stabbed, his house was bombed, and he was frequently threatened, but he never stopped calling for equality. Between 1957 and 1968, King worked tirelessly to promote civil rights. He traveled all over, giving thousands of speeches, writing 5 books and many articles. His hard work and speaking ability earned him respect and a personal meeting with President John F. Kennedy. Of all his speeches, his most memorable was the I Have a Dream speech, delivered on the steps of the Lincoln Memorial in 1963 to a listening crowd of 250,000 people.
I have a dream that my 4 little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. I have a dream today.
That year, Martin Luther King was named Time magazine's Man of the Year, and in 1964 he received the Nobel Peace Prize. Around the same time, partially as a result of his efforts, Congress passed the Civil Rights Act, which made segregation and discrimination based on race, color, religion, sex, or national origin illegal. King gave his final speech on April 3rd, 1968.
And I've seen the promised land. I may not get there with you, but I want you to know tonight that we as a people will get to the promised land.
The next day, while he was standing on his hotel balcony, Martin Luther King Jr. was shot and killed. He was 39 years old. In 1983, President Ronald Reagan signed a bill creating a national holiday to remember King's life and accomplishments. Martin Luther King Jr. Day is celebrated on the third Monday every January in honor of the man whose dream of peace and equality helped change a nation. I hope you enjoyed learning about Martin Luther King Jr. today. Goodbye till next time.
Alrighty. And
How did
Lucas,
Martin Luther King go? Dad.
Rocky, you can go to speech. Sorry, hold on a second. Rocky can go to speech.
I still wonder who was that guy who just killed.
You guys want to see?
Martin Luther.
Show you Martin Luther King. This guy right here. James Earl Ray. See him?
Whoa. He is the one?
Yep, that's the guy that.
It looks like he's in prison. Well, we see
Yep.
this like, hey.
Yep, he is.
Very smart. He just did the whole thing by himself.
Alrighty. Let's go back to the Nearpod. So everyone go into the Nearpod link again. Everyone go back to the Nearpod, and the slide should say class discussion. So we're going to talk about what are civil rights, what's segregation, and how did that affect the lives of African American people at the time. So first off, what is civil rights? Oh, gotcha. Okay. So what was that?
Civil rights, it means like, that means that they means they need to treat more respect to the, like, the white and
There needs to be more equality, right?
yeah.
People are being treated unfairly. Javier, what are you going to say? Thanks for raising a hand.
I was gonna say, like, equality means that they'll be treated like the same.
Yeah, people should be treated the same, right? Just because they have a different color of skin doesn't mean they should be treated any differently, right? Very good. I like that.
Oh no, better.
All right, and so then let's talk about, well, actually, we're going to move on. So Mr. King had one of the greatest speeches ever. He gave lots of speeches, actually, but one of his most famous is his "I Have a Dream" speech, and we heard a little bit about that in the video that we watched. So in this speech, he was able to talk about how being united and equal in America for all. So this is where he led a march on Washington, is what it's called. So in Washington, D.C., at the Lincoln Monument in 1963, more than 200,000 people peacefully gathered in Washington, D.C., and they were calling for racial justice and equality. So we are going to explore the Lincoln Memorial, is what it's called. So we're going to explore the Lincoln Memorial. You guys get to look around at this image on the Lincoln Memorial, okay? So here it is, and everyone can go ahead and look around.
Do you saw what I said?
Yes, I did, and I said about that too. All right, is everyone looking around at the Washington Monument and at the Lincoln Memorial, or at the Lincoln Memorial? It's really cool.
I see it.
Perfect.
Is this like a 360 camera?
It is. It's like
I
a.
want to see him. I see him.
That's a good idea. Someday. All right, everyone should be looking around. Look at this. This is where it happened. This is where the I Have a Dream speech was given. So if you look at the building with all the pillars by it, that's the Lincoln Memorial. And so up on top of those steps, that's where Martin Luther King gave his speech. So he's up there, okay? And there's this beautiful lake in the middle, the memorial pool. And then clear at the end of the memorial pool is the Washington Monument for George Washington. All right, I'm gonna go to the next slide, you guys. I like looking at this one, but there's another one I want to show you that I want to get to. So the following year, the Civil Rights Act of 1964 was signed. It was made by President Johnson, and it made discrimination based on race, color, religion, or sex illegal, and it ended segregation. Yay! But then, sadly, 4 years after that, in 1968, Martin Luther King Jr. was assassinated, and that happened in Memphis, Tennessee. Okay? All right. So I have a question for you guys. The I Have a Dream speech, why did it become so popular? Why was it so popular? What did it do to change people's lives? The I Have a Dream speech.
Babbitt?
Yes?
Look what I said.
Let's see. We've got, oh, Rocky, I love the picture. That's a good one. And I said, Martin Luther King Jr. spoke with truth. He spoke the truth. He spoke with emotion and with power. Angel, so we will remember about MLK Jr. Oh, I like that. Anyone else want to share? Why do you think Martin Luther King's I Have a Dream speech became so popular?
Rabbit change chat. Listen.
Did you get kicked?
Yeah.
You got kicked out? All right, well, just hang tight then, because we're almost done. Oh, Isaiah, that's a nice picture. Look how handsome he looks. Anyone else want to share? I want to look at one more monument, and then we'll be all done for today. So the last monument I want to share with you guys. Are you ready? Oh, okay. Oh, hurry, Lucas. Write something. Because I want to show you the Martin Luther King Jr. monument. There's a Martin Luther King monument in D.C. So I want to look at that VR as well.
Different topics you're leading for the day, Logan.
Oh, let's see. Oh, TG, I like yours. Because he's a big dreamer. Absolutely, yes. You guys, these are all so good. I love the pictures you guys chose. Lucas, did you do something? I'm going to move to the next slide.
Miss Babbitt.
They can keep them. Yeah. Yes?
Would you if I went to back in 1963 to M Junior was did have
That would be cool. Oh, look, Javier posted exactly what I want to show you guys.
that would be cool if I went to
monument. That would be cool. And then, Rocky, did you share Martin Luther King Jr.'s house? That was cool. Okay, so I'm going to show you guys on the next slide. This is Martin Luther King Jr.'s statue that is in Washington, D.C. So take a look around. It's at nighttime, so no one's there. What do you think? This is our last one, and then we'll be all done, okay?
Okay.
nighttime.
What did you find, Rocky? Oh, it's nighttime. Is that what you said? It's nighttime. Yeah. It's cool, huh? Did you guys find the statue of him?
Rabbits,
Did you see where it is?
it's my time.
It's almost time to go. Just look at the statue of Martin Luther King on the Nearpod.
It's back. Here we go.
In a minute. I think we all had a chance to look at that. Alrighty. And then I just want to end with Martin Luther King. He accomplished many things. He had a great effect on our lives today, okay, you guys? He had a really great effect on us, and especially people in the Black community, right? Because he started that movement, that civil rights movement. So he's very important. All right, you guys, you did wonderful today. Thank